What's up everyone? I'm Isaac and today I want to talk about domain names. Holy shit. Okay, recently I published a new issue of my newsletter called Dreamscape, and this one was about domain names, and I thought, you know what, why not create a video about it as well. So just some thoughts on domain names. This is my current domain, isaac.me. I think that's pretty fucking sick, and I can give you some lore. Okay, so the first domain I had was isaacs.io, which for some reason it's currently going at 600 euros. Maybe it's because it had some traffic before it got available or something, because I used it. Anyways, I thought this was a great domain, but it turns out it's a shit domain because it's very difficult to pronounce. So whenever I was handing out my email address, let's say, which at the time was mail@isaacs.io. Okay, spelling it out now, it seemed actually kind of simple, but people always got confused about this last part, you know. Everybody actually expects just like a Gmail or something, so when you're using your own domain, it should be easy to say. So Isaac S, people were like Isaac S or something like that, but yeah, it wasn't optimal. But I have some criteria that I like to think about when picking a domain name. So, okay, let's read what I'm saying. What makes a good domain name? For a personal website, a combination of first name plus last name.com is great. And I stand by this. I mean, you can overthink domain names as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, people are not going to remember your domain anyways. But what's even better than firstname-lastname.com is firstname.com. Now, the problem with this is that every single firstname.com is most likely taken because just the .com TLD is so popular. So, like this one, it's taken, can't do it. We have to think of something else. Now, luckily for us, we have other TLDs, and if you're not familiar, a TLD or top level domain is just the last part of the domain. So .com is probably the most popular, but there are other ones as well, like .no, which is a country code for Norway. So if we visit isaac.no, it's taken by some organization and it's not going to be available anytime soon. But there are a bunch of other sort of random TLDs, I guess you can call, out there, and it really opens up the possibility of getting some unique domains. So let's take a look at Namecheap for my name and see what comes up. Maybe there are some good finds here. I can buy isaac.com for $32,000. Might have to skip that for now, but yeah, like .ai is a very popular domain at the moment because every single shitty AI business wants to use this. So yeah, this country has really capitalized on this and are selling the domains for $80 a year. And they're making bank of it. But anyways, there's .gg, which I actually think is a pretty nice TLD. But then there's a bunch of random ones. So XYZ is actually very cheap. It's $17 a year, as you can see, except that somebody owns it and they're selling it for the premium price. VIP, BizHelp, My SO. This is Somalia, I think, and what's sort of funny is that Notion is using the SO domain, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Things are not making sense. What am I even talking about? What I'm trying to say is that when picking a domain, you should check out different TLDs because they are actually often very nice. And for me, I was lucky and found that the .me domain was available, which I'm super happy with. So alongside me, I know that Sophia.me is there. She likes unicycles, and yeah, the .me domain feels very personal, so I'm very happy with that. Okay, and now on to some examples. So I've gathered a list of very cool domain names like this one, brr.fyi. So this was the blog of somebody that moved to Antarctica for a year or something like that, and was programming there. Now I like this domain because it's cold on Antarctica, and FYI I think is a good like blog name for your information. Very cool. Then we have Ellie.whatthefuck. I think this is nice because of the .whatthefuck TLD. We have sheep.horse. It sort of reminds me of my own domain, muldyr.no. This is Norwegian for mole. No, wait. What's the muldyr English for the animal called mule? Not mole. Mole is something else. Mule. Okay, cool. Sheep.horse. And then we have what are known as domain hacks. So this is a domain hack, and it's where you combine the TLD with the name and it spells out something. So this blog is called Forever Like This, and the .es domain is at the end. That's kind of cool. And also, this guy has triple domain hacked. So he has a subdomain first, then the name, and then the domain, and it spells out his name. ma.tiasu.se. And additional points to this guy for having the sickest email, where he uses the at as the A in his name.
Perfect.
Okay, we have haste.ee. I mean, it's a few characters, looks pretty sick, and those were all of my suggestions in this video. There are more in my blog post, so go ahead and check that out. And yeah, while talking about subdomains, I want to discuss what the fuck is up with subdomains. So subdomains are special addresses you can put on your domain. So on isaac.me I have a couple of subdomains going, like this garden.isaac.me, and this makes it really easy for me to host different websites with totally different tech stacks on different places and still use the same domain. So previously I've been a huge fan of this, and I actually had blog.isaac.me going for a while, but I just put this down. And yeah, subdomains, I mean, it feels nice. It's sort of like maps.google.com or app.codecrafters. Like a lot of the applications I use do use subdomains, and I feel like it's kind of nice for me as a user of these projects. But then again, having everything on the same website when it comes to personal websites, I think might be even better. So I might put up a garden site on my website or something. Okay, I'm noticing that things are not really making any sense, but hopefully you have been intrigued on checking out my newsletter, which is live. I post every 2 weeks, so join the newsletter and let me know your thoughts on domains. Boom.